we have this thing called the notion of the ban fasa or the far fasa, or the Manoa fasa, the wise women. So the wise woman, the ban fasa, is not necessarily a storyteller, but a healer, a herbalist, somebody who is sought for her wisdom, or him, because they're wise men as well. And my storytelling is, when I joined the order and I was doing the course, a lot of the stories were from the Welsh tradition, which were really fascinating. But I thought, oh, I need to look at my ones from the Irish tradition. I had experienced them in school, in primary school. The nuns taught us these stories. I had learned about druids, didn't think it was a thing in the modern world. I then went back to the myths and legends in Ireland, and because we have a very, very rich source, thanks to the Celtic the early Christian monks in Ireland. But they're very patriarchal, and of course they were written through a Christian lens. So they're amazing stories, and I thought, but I'm going to tell those stories from using the voice of the woman, a female character within it. And that's what I do. If I'm telling the myths and legends, I'm not talking about the hero. I'm talking about the women in the story, because I think that's really, really important. It's about getting people to rethink and not perpetuating old motifs that are outdated. Because look at the world that we have at the moment. Look at the incredible violence and perpetration of horror and control and oppression and stealing land, and just tell them through another lens, through another voice. And I think that's very, very powerful. We've a phrase, Tír gan teanga, Tír gan an. A country without its language is a country without its soul. And that was meaning, and he was referring to the Irish language. But I also think if you don't have your stories, you don't have your soul. And I think really, if you look at any of the indigenous cultures or any of the preserved cultures, there is none that doesn't have its storytelling. And I don't know who doesn't like a story. When I'm in groups, I say, does anyone want to hear a story? Yeah. And it doesn't matter how, sophisticated people are. It's like, yeah, who doesn't like a story? Yeah. I mean, we read novels, films tell stories or whatever. And I think it behoves us to, if we've forgotten them, to go and find them. So many have been recorded. You can do that. It's the thing of the colonialists to diss and dismiss that of the indigenous, of the colonized, and to rubbish it, etc. And of course, that happened to us. It's happened in Australia. It's happened to any culture that's been colonized. And unless people wake up, that colonial mindset, it needs to be rejigged. And it's like, no, it now starts to revisit and really, really hear. And those stories need to be shared, obviously shared in a way that they are respected and not appropriated or exploited.